Behind the Lens, a different kind of conversation. Let me take you behind the historic marches, behind the massive crowds, behind every word that moved a nation. Martin Luther King carried a weight that almost nobody saw. He was brilliant. He was called, but he was deeply, silently depressed. His hidden battle with depression reveals a toxic lie about faith that we're still believing today. Let's talk about it. We saw a man of unshakable faith, a preacher, a prophet, a leader who walked into fire with a Bible in his hand and old Negro spiritual hymns on his lips. And yet, history, underneath all the accolades, tells us that before he was any of those things, before the marches, before the speeches, Dr. King attempted suicide twice. He was 12 years old. As an adult, he battled several episodes of severe depression, but he kept it hidden, carefully and deliberately, behind closed doors and within his inner circle. Because the culture then and now demands that a called man always should be strong. And Dr. King knew, he knew that his enemies would use it against him. But it wasn't just his enemies that he was hiding from. Stay with me. The year was 1959, the year I was born. 3 years into his most public life, he wrote, "What I've been doing is giving, 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 and not stopping to retreat and meditate like I should. If the situation is not changed, I will be a physical and psychological wreck." He was exhausted, and that was just in the beginning. Just months before his death, his closest friends were so worried about him. They encouraged him to please see a psychiatrist, but he refused. He was afraid the government was listening and watching his every move, that they would use it against everything he built. So he continued to carry it without any help. I can imagine the struggle. And I bet you also know exactly what that might feel like, to walk away from help for your mental health struggles. Let's talk about it. Let's land this right in our own backyard. Let's get beneath the murky waters and talk about this. Bringing the lie to the surface. That lie that if your faith was strong enough, you wouldn't be depressed. That depression means something must be spiritually wrong with you. It's got to be your fault due to sin, a character flaw, selfishness, insecurity, too sensitive, self-conscious, a sign that you can't be trusted. You can't serve or be used by God. It's rarely said out loud, but it doesn't have to be. We've learned to hear it in silence. How many Sundays have you walked through those church doors carrying a heavy weight, feeling some kind of way? But when somebody asked you, "How you doing?" you smile and you say, "I'm fine," or "I'm blessed and highly favored. I won't complain." Now, part of you meant it and part of you lied. Believe me, I've been there, done that. But let me tell you what's on the other side of that fake smile. It's not faith, it's performance. And we've learned all too well how to perform. And sometimes we can't even tell the difference. A faith that sells itself as a miracle drug that takes away all pain becomes very guarded about showing any pain. So we hide from each other and even from ourselves. You felt that, didn't you? You probably wonder just who you really are under all the pain. All right, I want to keep it real. I'm 66 years old and just starting this YouTube channel while battling my own mental health. I built a business at the age of 50 while carrying things I hadn't fully named yet. And for a long time, I even believed this lie. I thought I just needed to pray more. I just needed to have more faith. I needed to stop doubting. Those were the thoughts in my head. And after trying all the Christianese things and the fog didn't lift, I just knew something must be wrong with me. But here's the deal. My marriage is not in trouble. My husband has been more intentional, more supportive than he's ever been. And when I couldn't get out of the bed, he picked up more than his fair share, mopping the floors, doing the laundry, you name it, without complaining. And I'm not hiding some secret sin, yet I am a sinner. And with humility, I love and trust God. But I'm still in this battle. Depression is not a spiritual report card. It's a human experience happening inside a physical body in a broken world, waiting on a kingdom that is not yet fully here. So let me tell you, this is where Dr. King's story, my story, your story meet. Being honest enough to name our struggle and to face it head on takes a lot of courage. Martin Luther King was one of the most courageous men who ever lived. His legacy was built on the undeniable power of his leadership. His words encourage us today. He said, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love." It's not about status, and it's not about a lack of fear. It's about moving forward with courage in human frailty and imperfection. To be brilliant and called, your first ministry, your movement is right where you are. It's the person you're raising, the sister you're showing up for, the mother you walk to greater faith, the marriage you've tended for years, for decades. I led my mother to the Lord, and I walked alongside my husband into greater faith. That's my ministry, my movement. Ordinary things done in a great way. Now, I hope you don't think I'm bragging. I say all this to encourage you and to let you know that you can move like this too. Small steps forward, even in weakness. But the painful reality is, just like Dr. King, some of us are hiding our battle because others might see us as weak. Social media trained us to post the images that make us look our best. And long before social media, many of us were taught that what happens in this house stays in this house. But really and truly, the goings on in our house eventually shows up outside of it, some way, shape, or another. Dr. King's fear of being exposed kept him from getting the help he needed. I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me. That's why I'm so glad that the culture and the church's understanding of mental health is lifting the stigma. But there is much more awareness and education needed. Actually, I've been doing my own research and I've learned quite a bit. So let me tell you what I know now. What I wish somebody had told me years ago. What I want you to hear from me before you close this video. But I'm going to say this first, loud and proud. Depression is not sin. Let me say that again. Being depressed is not a sin. It's not a lack of faith. And it's not proof that God has abandoned you. Wait a minute. I know you probably want to say, but Donna, I've been praying for healing and God hasn't healed me yet. I'm still struggling. So where is he? I know you've been praying. So have I. I'm not there yet either, but God is healing me. And he's heard your prayer and he's healing you too. Healing is not a destination. It's a journey. I'm not finished yet. I've got more. Jesus said that faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. With faith the size of a mustard seed, let's continue to pray. He may not have moved the mountain yet. Instead, he's bringing us to the mountaintop.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop.
I'm grateful for my mountaintop view, a view full of hope and dreams. And I'm grateful for the tools that God gave me to get here. So don't look at me sideways when I say that therapy is not a betrayal of faith, that medication is not a surrender. Professional care, when you need it, is an expression of hope, not defeat. Talk therapy is biblical. Confession is unburdening the soul. Dr. King did a lot of that through his speeches.
I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of the tension surrounding our days. I must confess I'm tired.
We can do that by journaling. Processing our thoughts through journaling ventilates the soul. And to help you with that, I created an ebook of journal prompts with devotional scriptures. It's my free gift to you. The link is in the description. That alone time with our journal can be so therapeutic. But the truth is, we also need companionship. Companionship is the best way to move on this healing journey. One another is godly wisdom. Never, ever, ever forget that the enemy wants you to isolate in silence. Counseling is walking out the biblical practice of one another. But the best part is, we're never alone. God is always with us. Holding on to that truth, I remind myself that I'm okay, and so are you. Now, repeat after me. I'm okay. Not because I'm not struggling. I'm on a healing journey. I'm self-aware, and I'm working on me, and working on me is good. So my sister, I say to you, God is still working in our weakness. She is worthy of love. She is capable of healing. She is never alone in the darkness. She is you.